This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports. This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports.
Hey, welcome race fans to this edition of the Vigilante Report. I am your host, Alan Vaught, along with Ricky Wittenberg in the studio with me tonight. Tonight, we'll recap last week's exciting green-white checker finish for round number 5 at Talladega Superspeedway. We'll also interview your P2 and P3 finishers, the number 18, Chris Klein, and the number 99, Albert Anderson. We're going to go over some Vigilante racing news and preview tonight's race at Texas Motor Speedway. And finally, we'll review the notes from the VRL admin, Lori. Just a quick programming note, folks. If you're watching the stream, please don't forget to hit us up in the YouTube chat during this report and also for the Vanquish Series race that follows. Ricky and I will do our best to read all your comments and your questions on air. Well, Ricky, we have an ambitious agenda tonight, so we're going to get started with last week's Talladega race where the gloves came off. The battle came down to a green-white checker finish with a last turn pass for the victory, which got both of us excited in the broadcast.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy at the end, and it was typical Talladega.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that actual clip for you folks here and a recap that green-white checker finish, which was very exciting. I hope you enjoy this. It's nice to have a little drama here at the end of the race. I mean, I'm sure that the guys out there, when their hearts are pumping, they're getting ready to go green here. They're not necessarily happy about having the drama. They'd love to drive away, but hey, this is why we do it, why we race. We'll see if the 29 is able to pull out his first victory for this series, or the 8 truck, or is it going to be the birthday boy, Andy Player, in the 13 truck. Albert Anderson, Erica's driver, the super speedway king, and specialist here. You cannot count him out. I would not be surprised he's not sticking with that 29 all the way through. If he gets a chance and someone's making a move on that outside line, he's probably going to take it. And you see the 88 truck of Mike Adamson, whom he pushes with very well and used to be teammates with, that could come into play. If we can make it back, ladies and gentlemen, that's the question.
Anderson dumps Mayberry on the back stretch, and he's going for it.
Kind of expected that. He's up there with
that outside lane.
Yep.
With Anderson and Adamson, they're going to have a really, really strong run as they come to the white flags. We'll have to see if they can get up there to the lead.
Tom Barish leading that outside line in the 55 truck. We'll see if they're able to get any momentum. I don't think so. They're only a couple of trucks deep there.
Will Player, and no, they're not going to block. They're going to let him go to the outside. I don't know. I maybe would have ran up there and blocked him.
And it's on now. You got Anderson, the king of super speedways, on that outside line being pushed by one of the best of the 88 truck of Mike Adamson. Question is, are they going to stay together to the... Oh, no.
Oh, Player gets turned, but he holds on to it, and that's going to take them out of the race.
And there goes Colin Decker, unfortunately, along with Dustin Eaton and others.
Watch Mayberry. Watch Mayberry. He's getting pushed by Klein. Will they make it a run for the win?
Here we go. They're wrecking behind them. We are going to stay green to the line. Is Mayberry going to pull this off?
Mayberry surging. Surging.
Dave Mayberry takes home the win. He made it all the way. Incredible run by Mr. Mayberry. Great job, Dave. I guess Lucy is his good luck charm. And he had his nephew watching there. Dave, if you're listening or watching the broadcast, give us a wave, buddy. Congratulations. You are the winner of the Talladega Superspeedway for round 5 of the Vigilante Vanquish Series.
The Mouth, Dave Mayberry.
Well, Ricky, we have another first-time winner tonight, and Dave Mayberry, from last week, actually. But it wasn't without controversy. So Dave was calling out Albert Anderson for not sticking with him in those final couple of laps there over the radio, and then after in his interview with you and I. All the while he was crossing the line, Albert's family, who is always in the chat, was actually saying congratulations to Dave. He was throwing shade towards Albert. But you and I called it. Albert isn't the super speedway king for nothing. He's not going to sit behind someone in that last lap if he thinks he has a chance at victory.
No, Albert's always going to go for the hole. He's going to try to make the, and I'm pretty sure everybody else does too. Dave just thought that Albert would stick with him a little bit longer, I believe, and that was pretty interesting how the Anderson family was congratulating Mayberry in the chat, and Mayberry is burying Albert on the broadcast. So a little bit of feuding going on. I'm sure we may get a little bit more of that tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to get to the interviews here in just a moment, but just taking a look at Albert. Albert's had a great season so far. His average starting position is 4th, and his average finish is 8th, which accounts for him being pretty high in the points. I think he's only 1 point behind. He is only 1 point behind for the lead of this championship. And then you have Dave Mayberry as well. He hasn't been as fortunate on the qualifying side of things. He's been qualifying around 18th, but his average finish is 9th, so just 1 position back of Anderson, which is why he's in the hunt. And then your 3rd place finisher from last week, Chris Klein, he's had kind of a rough season. Started well at these races, qualifying in 9th position most times, but not quite as good of the finish as what you might expect from Chris. He's been around 12th so far, but he's had some bad luck along the way.
Yeah, Chris he's had some bad luck. He got a little bit of a slap on the wrist there with a little bit of extracurricular activity at one of the races a couple of weeks ago. But then last week, Total Redemption comes back and finishes 2nd.
Okay, so we're going to actually bring up your 2nd place finisher here and get an interview with him if I can find him in the chat. There he is right there.
Double C. Double tough.
And while I'm pulling him in here, Ricky, you might want to explain that CC number 18 there.
Yeah, so we've got a little splash screen for Chris Klein, number 18, but apparently there was a famous guy that I really don't know, but famous enough for the AI algorithm to say, hey, this is somebody famous and you can't use their likeness. So I tried to go C Klein and that didn't work. So I just went CC and it actually let it go through. So the AI outsmarted me today, but I'm not done with it yet.
All right, roger that. We'll get Chris in here now. Hey, Chris, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great finish last week, coming in 2nd place. We're just going to get a few quick questions to you. How did you adapt to the track and the changing strategies during that event?
The track didn't change too much throughout the race. Talladega is pretty simple. I mean, just try to stay out of trouble and not get involved in anybody else's mess. I think I got right up front for a while and ended up getting caught up in something and got some damage, went to the back and just kind of hung out for pretty much the second half of the race. And when that last restart came about, kind of saw who the running order was. I think I started like 11th or 12th or something like that. And kind of knew Mayberry was a sitting duck and wasn't surprised when he got left sitting in the middle by himself when Albert and Adamson jumped outside. Those two work really well together, so I wasn't shocked by that move. And the middle just stayed open, and I had driven up the middle earlier in the race. I was like, well, we'll just drive up the middle and see what happens. And then did that, and then they just left it open, never really blocked it. And then I think we ended up behind Albert and Mike, and all of a sudden the inside lane disappeared, and then Mayberry pulls out and makes a move. And so I just followed him and ended up getting him pushed past. And I think I stayed just in front of Albert at the finish line. Actually, I think we finished neck and neck. I think the times are identical for second and third place. So it was pretty exciting.
You were within 7 1,000ths of a second for second there. So it was really razor thin. You kind of went over some key moments. That was my next question. But were there any other key moments in the race, in your view, that helped you get to the podium?
I think that last crash, I got tangled up in it, but I mean, I missed being totaled out of it by millimeters. I mean, you know how iRacing is. You can be in it or out of it and not look like you're in it or out of it and end up with severe damage and not look like you touched anyone, or be right in the middle of it and be halfway in somebody's car and come away with no damage. So I got really lucky on that one, and was grateful for not having any major damage, and was able to come down pit road and fix what little bit was there, and come back out and have a chance at doing something. So it was a nice recovery. Made a bit of a fool of myself a couple weeks ago over some frustrations, and good comeback to come back and finish second, and looking forward to tonight, that's for sure.
And we were actually looking over your stats for the season. Your average starting position is 9th, so you're doing really well there. And even with that one missed race, your average finishing position is 12th, that's incredible. So yeah, you're on the road to recovery there, and you answered all my questions because I had another one for you about kind of what was on your mind for those last laps, but you've already answered that. So I'll shift you over to Ricky for the next couple of questions.
Yeah, Chris, good job last week. We try to figure out what's going on with these, the drivers, and we don't get to talk to everybody quite as much. So wanted to ask you, what's something that's interesting about you that you could share with the audience?
Interesting about me? Not a whole lot. I don't get a lot of chance to practice. I work a ton. iRacing has been my stress reliever. I've met a lot of great people through iRacing. One of our competitors in this league, Derek Welch, has become a real good friend of mine. I met him a few years ago through iRacing, and me and him and Mark and then a couple other guys that are in this league, Tom Barish, and we've all become fairly decently good friends. Spend a lot of time talking to each other. Scott Milner, just a big group of guys that hang out, and it's kind of funny. Like, gaming has a bad connotation sometimes with adults and stuff, but find a lot of camaraderie in people, and a place to where you can kind of vent and meet some people that have some common ground, and a place to get things off your chest, and kind of almost like a safe space, if you will. Hate to use that terminology, but a place you can go and find some like-minded people and not be out doing things that you probably shouldn't be, and a place where you can save a little money by not going out and wasting money. So something I really enjoy, and have enjoyed the camaraderie over the years, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So as far as like real life racing, do you prefer NASCAR? Do you like short track racing, dirt tracks? What's your poison?
Man, I love all of it. We will go anywhere. I've got a 16-year-old son. Him and I went and took about a 3-hour drive last weekend and went down. We live just north of Atlanta, and drove down to South Georgia to go watch a dirt track race. And next weekend we'll be at Atlanta Motor Speedway all weekend for the NASCAR races. And we've gone to Charlotte to go watch the road course races, and we've been at Road Atlanta for the Le Mans race. And we'll go wherever just to experience it and see something different. It's all exciting to me in some variety of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just enjoy all of it. There's none of it that I won't go at least experience once to, say that I've been.
Oh, do you want to put your all-time favorite driver out here for everybody?
Oh man, I'll put a target on my back. I'm a huge Kyle Busch fan. I'm probably opposite of most people. I like to see people that hate to lose. I feel like if you're a professional athlete, the last thing you should do is be excited about finishing second to somebody. I don't like the new Kyle Busch. I understand where it comes from, having a 8 or 9-year-old that's watching everything that you do, and you kind of change the way you do things. I've done it as a father myself, but I miss the old Kyle Busch that was mad when he finished second and got out and frustrated with the car and frustrated with the people that were around him because they're supposed to be the best. And he's always been one of my favorites, him and his brother. I enjoy people that have that passion about being the best at what they do, especially on that level.
Yeah, cool. So, for last thoughts before we throw you out of here, do you have any shout outs for your team or fans or family before we let you go?
Absolutely. I just thank everybody over here at Vanquish for putting all this on. I know it's a lot of work. I've helped Derek do some stuff, and he's shown me how much work goes into this stuff. You know, the broadcasting that you guys are taking on, it's a challenge getting all of it lined up and the time that it takes. And I just appreciate everybody that does any of it, that gets behind it and does this on their free time. And I know all of us drivers can create headaches and all the drama that we create in what's supposed to be fun. And I appreciate everybody that's involved. That's for sure.
All right, man. Thanks. We'll get you back down in there so you can finish up practice and get ready for qualifying.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, Chris, take care, buddy. All right, that was your second place finisher, Chris Klein, the number 18 machine. And now we're going to move on to a third place, Mr. Albert Anderson.
America's driver, Albert Anderson.
Hey, Albert, buddy, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. Buddy, you got us.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing great, man. Appreciate you taking the time just before this race to talk with us about your third place finish last week. Got a few canned questions for you. How did you adapt to the track and the changing strategies over the course of that race to bring it home third?
You know, that last caution that came out, I made contact with the trucks behind me, and we were trying to figure out the best thing to do. And unfortunately, but fortunately for Dave Mayberry, we jumped to the third lane, and I had a good push from the guys behind me. And I think I made a bad decision there at the end to drop down in front of Mayberry. I should have stayed up in the third lane and kept that third lane pushing to the stripe. But overall, it was a good night.
So was there any key moments for you at all?
Well, so I'll tell you, the biggest highlight was seeing Mayberry win. I mean, congratulations to him. You know, when we came off of turn 4, I thought I had that race won. And then Mayberry comes up on my outside with a big push from Chris Klein with a lot of momentum and snatched it away. But, congratulations to him. I like Dave a lot, and I'm happy to see him win one. I really am.
That's interesting. You mentioned that we were talking earlier in the broadcast that the win wasn't without controversy, because he was calling you out on the radio in the race, and then spoke about it in his post-race interview. And we noted the fact that your family was in the chat on YouTube actually congratulating him as he crossed the line. So I know he stepped back from that, and Dave likes to stir the pot a lot. But hopefully you guys have worked that out, or is there still some controversy there?
Oh, no, not at all. But, I will wreck Mayberry the first chance. No, I mean, I love the guy. He adds a lot of spice to the league, and he's a character, and I appreciate him. I like that he's around, and I like how he mixes it up sometimes, especially with Dustin Eaton.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna pitch you over to Ricky for the final questions.
All right, Albert. So let's dive. We've talked to you a lot, but I'm sure that there's things that we just don't know, and we won't discuss Dover Speedway. But other than that, what's some interesting thing about you that you could share with the audience on a YouTube PG broadcast?
Safe for work.
I guess it would be my taste in music. A lot of people would probably don't know, but I'm a big fan of heavy metal and a big fan of classic country, among other music genres. But I'm a big fan of heavy metal. The first heavy metal song I ever heard was Let There Be Rock by AC/DC. I heard that song in 1981, and I can remember the day like it was yesterday. And I've been a heavy metal fan ever since. And classic country, I like the smooth R&B, the 70s late night stuff, with Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, stuff like that. Jess can relate to that. And, I think that's probably something that, people find out about me and they go, oh, wow. They're not expecting that. And, reggae, stuff like that. So, big heavy metal fan.
Good deal. So, I mean, as far as the country, classic country, 70s, 80s, who was your jam for the country style?
I'd say probably George Jones. A lot of his hits, I really know by heart. Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty, all of Conway Twitty's stuff. Johnny Cash is way, way up there on the list. If I had to pick one to listen to on a regular basis, it'd be Johnny Cash. I probably know every single song that he ever wrote, lyric by lyric. So my top guy would probably be Johnny Cash.
Awesome. Well, so you're kind of almost the third man in our broadcast booth because we talk to you so much. But before we kick you out for qualifying, do you have any shout outs for team, fans, and family?
Yeah, just a huge, huge shout out to my family. They give me a lot of support in this. They tune in on a regular basis to both leagues. And they make it all worthwhile, especially when I can end up in victory lane and give them a shout out, or end up on the podium and give them a shout out. It's great. I really enjoy it. And all of the competitors in this league, I mean, it's some of the greatest guys you could ever race with. It's truly a family here. It's a family atmosphere between the drivers, the league owners, the broadcasters. It's really, really a family thing. We get mad at each other sometimes for stuff that happens on the track, and it usually blows over really, really quickly, and we go back to being a family. So the atmosphere here is just phenomenal, and I wouldn't change it for a thing. So a big shout out to Lori and Jess, you, Ricky, for doing everything that you do. You do a ton for both leagues. And all of the fans that tune in, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, thanks for that, buddy.
Yeah, Albert, we appreciate you, buddy, as always. Yeah, we're like brothers. We can fight with each other, but don't come at us from somebody outside the group. Hey, man, we're gonna get you downstairs and back to racing there, and appreciate your time.
Yeah, man, looking forward to tonight's race. Hopefully, I can get another podium, make it 4 in a row, and
hey, man.
And get back up here and talk to you guys. So thank you, guys.
Sounds good, man. 1 point out of that championship league. Go get it.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Yep. That was your third place finisher from Talladega last week, Mr. Albert Anderson, the 99. And so with that, we are going to head over. Studio back up there for you. We're going to head over and we're going to talk league business now. So starting with the Vigilante Racing League's Wednesday night truck series, which is entering the final 2 weeks of its season with a pitched battle for not one but 2 championships. VRL crowns its overall champion in a format modeled after NASCAR. The top 12 drivers at the end of the regular season are reset with 6 races remaining. And the field is narrowed through 2 intense rounds to determine the final 4 who battle for the coveted VRL Cup. Now, your final 4 right now are myself. I actually race in the Wednesday Night League, Dustin Eaton, Tim Pope, and Kyle Vaught. But that's not all. There's another fierce fight unfolding behind the scenes. The Contender Chase Trophy is up for grabs in an internal championship battle, and it's just as fierce. Jonathan Osborne currently leads that charge, but John McAdam is riding his bumper and closing fast. Championship within a championship, and the drama's only heating up. So expect fireworks as the Premiere Series builds to a high-stakes climax at Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2 weeks. So, Ricky, how are you feeling about all of this? And the fans want to know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I mean, the way the 4 races played out, or the 3, the last few races of the playoffs here, you have a road course, you have Pocono, and then you've got Atlanta. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out over these last couple of weeks. I know you've kind of got a little bit of a cushion right now in the points, so I'm sure Pocono is going to, you're going to try to be careful at Pocono, because at Atlanta, I would hate to be in the final. I mean, I would love to be in the final 4, but at the same time, going into Atlanta and it being a plate track now, if it was old Atlanta, it would be a little bit different. But man, it is such a wild card. I think that if anybody's in striking distance for the Atlanta race, anybody could win the championship.
Yeah, and I hope we're not putting the old broadcaster curse on myself here. I do not feel comfortable going in these last 2 races. I got a little bit of a cushion, but it's nothing to say one incident won't erase that entirely. So I think it is going to come down to the last race to determine the champion for the Cup, and then that chase within a chase, the contender chase, that's heating up as well. That's a straight points championship, but those guys are fighting equally as hard, which on track at the same time with the VRL Cup guys makes it even more challenging for everyone because they're fighting for every inch for one of those championships. And with that, we're going to go ahead and kick over to the Vanquish Series, so the VRL Vanquish Series, where we're headed tonight into round 6 of 10 tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. This is a true Speedway series. Every venue clocking in at 1.5 miles or greater. It's built for drivers with a need for speed. So if you think pure adrenaline with no apologies, and that's exactly what this is designed to be. The Vanquish Series runs on a straight points format as well. No resets, no drop weeks, and definitely no mercy. To take the crown, you've got to be fast, clean, and consistent if you want to vanquish your competition. Wink, wink, Ricky. And talk about tight. Only 22 points, again, separate the top 5 drivers with half of the season remaining. Here's how it currently stacks up at the halfway point. Mike Adamson is in the lead with 153 points, followed by Albert Anderson by only just 1 point at 152. David Mayberry's in 145 points, so he's right there in the hunt, along with Jonathan Osborne in 4th with 139 points, and Andrew Cawthon with 131. Now, I put up an informal poll today, Ricky, inside of Discord, asking, hey, who you picking? Are you picking one of these 5, or are you picking the field? And more than 50% of the votes that came in picked the field. You had Dave Mayberry in at 17%, tied with Cawthon for 17%. So they were the 2 front runners out of the 5 I listed. But the field overwhelmingly took it. So apparently the drivers feel like, hey, this is totally up for grabs. The title fight is wide open, and anything can happen over the next few weeks. So, Ricky, who's your money on to bring it home?
Gosh, it's so tough to decide something like this on a super speedway series. Tonight at Texas is a little bit different. Some of these tracks, but then next week we got ISS, and that is a total wild card. Anytime you're at Daytona, Talladega, or Atlanta, it's a total wild card. So it's really hard to say. I mean, anybody in the top 5 or even within striking distance of the top 5 can still win the championship right now. But if you want to go with consistency and just overall racecraft, the way things have been going so far this year, it's hard to bet against either Anderson or Adamson, the top 2.
Yeah, for sure. So programming note, we were going to go over some more specifics about the track and the air temperature and stuff tonight, folks, but we'll get that to you during the broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the admin notes and get through those. So this is from Lori, the admin. 3 weeks. Her first note is that she's saying 3 weeks away from season 12, guys. Race number 1. She's filling up the field now, currently vetting a few drivers that want in. Spots are filling up quick. We will have some fresh faces next season, so you never can tell who those are going to be. Part 2 of her notes here is that, part 2 of NASCAR 2025 VRL 12. The schedule was quite a bit different from part 1. We start off with 2 back-to-back road courses, which she states in her notes here she's not a fan of. That's news to me because apparently she has some ideas about running through her head that we could possibly see a few changes in road courses and or a few other tracks next season. You never know what's in her head, so I guess we'll have to find out soon. So those were the notes for VRL. Now for Vanquish, she had here that she put up a poll to see if we would rather run this series on a Thursday night. We're trying to get a night that helps all drivers because Friday seems to be tied up. Friday night lights, taking care of kids, things pop up. It's a weekend. So we're considering Thursday. So the vote ended up, I think, almost 60% in favor of trying Thursdays, but she hasn't made a final decision yet. So that's something that's coming up pretty soon here. And then most importantly, she wants to give a shout out and happy birthday to one of her longtime family favorites. And that's our Aunt Edith of the Anderson clan. She turned 81 this past Monday. This young lady has been with us since the beginning of VRL. Following her nephew, Albert Anderson, Lori's built a special bond with the Anderson clan. She often threatens Albert to tell on him if he's picking on her. And we all look forward to chatting with them tonight and every week on the YouTube chat. So please make sure you hit us up, Aunt Edith, and happy 81st birthday. Thank you for being a loyal fan. Okay, Ricky, with that, they're about to start qualifying. So is there any closing thoughts for tonight's race? Who do you think will bring it home, bring home the six shooters?
Trevor Robertson is going to redeem himself from his power outage at Homestead when he was spanking the field.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. So that does it for this edition, race fans, of the Vigilante Report. The drivers are suited up, the tires are scuffed, and you've just been briefed. So stay sharp, stay fast, and stay vigilante. Well, we'll see you on the other side of the break.
This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports.
Reckon.
I have no clue where I'm really supposed to be.
Going around at the stripe. Turn one.
Wrecking.
We're stopping for a wreck.
This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports.
Buckle up, Texas. Things are about to get loud. The Vigilante Vanquish Series thunders into Texas Motor Speedway for round number 6, and the stakes have never been higher. Under the white skies of Fort Worth, the fierce rivalries, bold overtakes, and white-knuckle moments that define this series are about to hit new levels of intensity. From the first green flag to the final roar across the line, every lap on this high-banked 1.5-mile oval promises edge-of-your-seat action. This is where horsepower meets heart, and only the toughest will tame the Texas heat, so let's light it up.
Hey, welcome Vigilante race fans. My name is Alan Vaught along with Ricky Wittenberg, and we'll be bringing you all the racing action tonight live from Texas. We're going to get started right now with some race details for this series. Vanquish round 6 at Texas is 133 laps for about 200 miles. They are limited to 70% fuel. They have one fast repair available should they get themselves in some kind of damage trouble there. The incident limit is 25 and 6. And the cautions are managed by iRacing, which includes also Lucky Dog and waiver rounds. Your current championship leader is Mike Adamson with 153 points, followed very closely by Albert Anderson at 152, Dave Mayberry in third, Jonathan Osborne fourth, and Andrew Cawthon is rounding out your top 5. Now that's still a lot of people who are in contention other than these top 5. However, it looks like it's going to come down to one of these horses here. Ricky, what are you thinking?
Oh yeah, for the championship, it's going to be wide open. Who really not? It's going to come down to the last race. I can about guarantee that, and I think anybody in the top 5, 6, 7 have a shot to win it. Adamson's been the most consistent so far, but Anderson's probably showed the most speed.
Yeah, as they have wrapped up qualifying here, we're going to get a quick look at as soon as I can get it up here for you. We were running a little late with the last broadcast. We're going to get you a look at your starting grid as they're going to do a pace lap here before we go green. And hey, Ricky, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, SDK decided it wanted to do an update.
Okay, so let's go over the starting grid real quickly. Albert Anderson takes the pole with the 29.514. Trevor Robertson 29.548 as Anderson is sitting on pit road, not moving with the rest of the field. Not good. Maybe have to extend this. I'm not sure. Robertson second. Newcomer Jason Chrisman starting third in the 98. John Gallagher fourth. Jonathan Osborne fifth. Colin Decker sixth. Andrew Player seventh. Jesse Graham, Chris Klein, and Jeremiah Burke round out the top 10. We've got Derek Welch, Jesse Redding, Nicholas Tucker, Dave Mayberry, Chris Gones, Dustin Eaton is 16th. Mike Adamson, 17th, Scott Milner, Jonathan Marsh, and John Schoenbachler round out the top 20. Then rounding out the field, 21st, Tom Barish, Jason Gaines, 22nd, Kelly Keel, 23rd, Russ Kilgore, 24th, Dustin Brown, Andrew Cawthon, and Paul Durkee shotgun on the field as looks like we're about back to normal here, and I think we are going to be able to go green.
Yeah, we apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes these software programs have a mind of their own. And that one popped up right as we're getting ready to push the button to give you the starting grid. It's unfortunate. There you can see it for yourself as we run through it. And we're under a green, as you see. The 99 gets a good start there. He had the pole, right, Ricky? I don't remember what you said between him and Robertson, rather.
Yeah, he had the pole.
We are underway. I want to make sure that everything else is copacetic and you guys can hear everything. So within the chat, if you hear something that's out of whack, please let us know. We always welcome feedback and we can make adjustments. And it's looking pretty racy up front already here. The 99's on the outside. The 6 is going to take a look on the inside for him, Ricky. 6 is fast, and you picked him to win tonight.
Yeah, Robertson, he's always fast, but I just feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder tonight, trying to redeem himself from the race at Homestead a couple of weeks ago, and it looked like he had the Dash for Cash race covered, and unfortunately had a power outage.
Oh, did he tap the wall right there? It looked like he might have scraped the wall coming out of 2. A little bit, lost some momentum, allowing Anderson to get by, but I'm not positive. It looks like he's no worse for the wear if he did scrape that wall. He's going to fall right into the tire tracks of the 99 machine there as they make their way across the start-finish line back into turns 1 and 2.
And Texas is such a tough track because the 2 turns are totally different. It's easy to catch that wall out of 2. A lot of people have problems and catch that wall out of turn 2. 3 and 4 is not quite as difficult. They can usually hold it wide open until the tires start wearing out a little, but coming through the trial, we have some issues, and they're lapping a couple of people, so we must have had an issue on the beginning of the race as the 22 of Brown's already lapped down, and now they're lapping Player.
Wow, that's interesting what might have happened there. Maybe we get something from the admin here when we get an opportunity. She'll come in and let us know for sure if there's a problem. May have been just they didn't get to their cars in time. All right,
it appears that they both done a drive-through, so maybe they had a green flag drive-through to serve as part of a penalty.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, who were the two names again? Andrew Cawthon and...
That was Cawthon and
Brown.
And Brown.
Yeah, Brown had... you're right. Brown had a penalty, so did Cawthon. Brown actually had a... instead of just an EOL, he had a drive-through penalty. I don't know if... Cawthon may have also. I think both of them had a drive-through penalty tonight.
Either he had a drive-through or he was just trying to keep him company because he went down pit road too.
Right now, you got Anderson's out there. It looks like he's riding pretty comfortable, but you know how Robertson will sit there in your tire tracks, maybe let you burn him up a little bit for you, and he'll come back and attack again. He's making his way back in there, as you can see in that number 6 truck. In the third position, you have a newcomer, Jason Chrisman. Jason Chrisman, I think this might be his first race with us, running in the third position. In fourth, you got Jonathan Osborne. Fifth, John Gallagher. And when we get a moment here to catch our breath, we will actually do a run through the field for you folks.
Yeah, it looks like the first 7 trucks kind of still right together, and then there's a bit of a gap there back to Player, who's actually 7th, Klein and Nick Tucker, and then you've got Welch, and then pretty much the rest of the field all right behind them. That is a hornet's nest from 11th on back.
We do have 5 onboard cameras for you folks tonight. There's a couple that we're going to have to get set up because they came in a little bit late. I will do that here after we do a run through the field. We're going to start at the back end with Russ Kilgore, currently running in that 25th position. He's up 2 spots from where he started, and we'll take a look from the roof cam of his truck as he's making his way into turn 1. This is the part of the track here. It's only 20 degrees of banking for turns 1 and 2. You can go pretty fast, but you can't go full out, Ricky. But down in 3 and 4 is 4 additional degrees, so 24 degrees of banking in this 3 and 4 area. And on new tires, in my experience, you can go flat out.
Yeah, if you hit the line right in 3 and 4, you definitely can go flat out. But there is an advantage if you can pedal it a little bit to try to save the tires and not heat up that right front too much. But in 1 and 2, I'm sure they're glad it's not exactly like it is in the real NASCAR spectrum of series, because if you get too high out of turn 1 and 2, it seems like in the real world you're going to have a tank slapper and you're going to crash. You can kind of get out of the groove here on iRacing and still live to tell about it.
Yeah, true that. So these drivers are trying to find that fine line between saving a little bit of tire, but you also can't lose your track position either. So the ones who can do that balance the best are the ones to be most successful here this evening. So again, we're riding on board with Russ Kilgore. We're just going to go through the field here, moving up to the 55 truck of Tom Barish, racing out of Gulf Coast, Mississippi. Tom is up, he's down 3 spots for the evening so far. He might be just taking care of his tires like you mentioned. He's running 24th. In that 55 truck. Moving forward, now we got John Schoenbachler. He's shown a great amount of speed in the first 5 races of this series. I've been impressed, Ricky, racing out of Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know about you.
Yeah, somebody we're not familiar with, and the thing that impresses me the most about him is it looks like he can, not qualify well or be further back in the field, and then all of a sudden, by the end of the race, there he is. So he knows how to take care of his equipment, dodge the crashes, knock on wood, and get strong finishes.
Yeah, we're going to move forward here to the 19 truck of Scott Milner, racing out of Pittsburgh. I don't know which state. I think there might be more than one Pittsburgh in the States. Do you know, Ricky? I don't know. We'll have to get him to put that in there sometime.
More than likely Indiana, because that's where Jeff Gordon is from.
Oh, is he a Gordon fan, or you happen to talk to him about it?
Oh, no, I know that Jeff Gordon's from Pittsburgh, Indiana, so I'm just assuming that this Pittsburgh may be Indiana. It's just a dumb guess.
No, I got you. Well, he is currently running in the 23rd position, down 5 spots from where he started this evening. John actually got past him there, so we'll move on forward to Kelly Kill, out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. He's up 2 spots from where he started. He had a penalty this evening as well. I expect to see that 0-1 truck in the win and moving forward. He likes this track. He was very disappointed when we spoke to him earlier in the race about having that penalty from last week. It was just a slight miscalculation at Talladega, which can happen to any of us.
Yeah, Kelly will be moving through the field, I'm sure. The Wisconsin wild man, Kelly Kill.
And on that good-looking truck there, Jonathan Marsh out of Beaumont, Texas. So I don't know how far he is from me or in Texas right now, but he's looking good tonight racing that 80 machine. He's down only 1 spot so far. Again, you never know. These long runs happen here at Texas. People do try to take care of their equipment in favor of having it ready in the long run. And we're going to move forward on to Jason Gaines in the 83 truck. He's up 3 spots from where he started this evening, running in the 19th position. And here's Jesse Chip. I think that's a nickname, so I don't know if he wants us to call him Chip or not. We'll have to talk to him later. Graham the 4th. He is running in that 5 truck. Unfortunately, down 5 positions from where he started this evening. What'd you see, Ricky?
Jeremiah Burke is arguing over space. I've seen this as you've been going through the field. I've been watching these two, and they've ran into each other more than once so far.
Well, it looks like that Jesse's going to get the advantage on Jeremiah there. Don't know if Jeremiah burned him up a little bit or decided to hold off and fight another day. He does have him lined up underneath him now, trying to go around him, though. That's going to be unfortunate. We'll see how it shakes out for him in the long run. All right, we're going to go back on board with Jesse and then move forward here on board with Paul Durkee. He's up 11 spots from where he started tonight and running in the 16th position. I don't know where Paul races out of. You happen to know?
I do not, but I do like the green on the green on this truck. I like the paint scheme.
Yeah, that is a good looking truck. Like 818 on this.
Tequila. 818 or 818 tequila?
Can't tell. 818 tequila looks like, yep. It's a good looking truck. I haven't heard of that tequila. I have to check that out. Now we see him looking at the rear end of, the Super Speedway Killer on the back of his Dave Mayberry in that 29 truck here. We'll go on board with him. Dave is racing out of Tucson, Arizona, and he's trying to effect the pass right there on the 88 machine of Mike Adamson. Dave is right where he started tonight. He started 14th, running 14th. Mike's up 2 positions, but it looks like he might lose one here.
Yeah, and him and Adamson are 2 of the top 5 in points, both running outside the top 10 right now, and got to see if they can work their way forward. I know Mayberry's got a hit list on that truck of driver names in the series, so not looking to make friends apparently.
Oh, what's the hit list? Anybody who's in front of him in points?
Oh yeah, it's got Eaton, Adamson, Anderson, Robertson. It's got several of the drivers in the league, the names scratched all over that truck.
That's that hit list can move both ways. I hope he knows what he's doing with that. And so now we're on board with Mike Adamson. We just talked. What happened?
Mayberry, Paul Durkee with a heck of a save. Mayberry got into him out of third. Speaking of hit list, I think Durkee may have Mayberry on his hit list now. But Durkee with that may be the save of the race. He was dead sideways.
I have to go back and get a shot of that with Paul Durkee here. See if we can find that. Go back just a little bit here and see if we can find it. Go on board with that's actually Kilgore. Where's Durkee at? Here we go.
He's
a few laps back.
You need to go back one turn. It happened, I think, one turn before this or so. Well,
there it is right there. Wow, he was completely sideways.
Yeah, he was dead sideways and he caught it. So.
And we'll take a look from a different vantage point for you folks so you can see it in a couple of different ways. On board with the 818 tequila machine here. We'll see what happens. Does he get some help? Yes, he does. And he is dead sideways. What a save from Paul Durkee. Don't know how he didn't end up into the outside retaining wall there, Ricky.
Yeah, I don't either. But we have a caution on the track.
Caution on the track, Kelly Kill.
Oh, Jeremiah Burke. Jeremiah.
Go back and catch this action right here. Oh.
Oh, Schoenbachler, I believe maybe, I don't know if he was trying to shoot the gap or what, but I think he made contact and then that caused the accident.
We will take another look at that actually.
I think if you look at from the overhead, it'll tell the tale.
Here we go. Give it a little bit more. Gonna be one of those domino effects where he touches the 53. Oh, no, he tries not to touch the 53, but dominoes the 01 into the 53. He gets a little piece of the outside wall himself, but definitely the 01 and the 53 got the worst end of that deal for that accident, Ricky.
Yeah, Burke is more than likely definitely going to have to take a fast repair. I'd say Kelly will too. Not sure, but we'll see what happens here on pit road. While we're under caution, check out the chat. We got Papa Anderson in here. We also have the Faster Pastor saying great broadcast, guys. So thanks everybody for joining in. If you have any questions, comments, just throw it out there in the chat, and we'll try to read them. Albert Anderson Sr. says that he thought Edith would be on, but at 81, she may have fallen asleep.
Oh, that's okay. It's a great thing that this is recorded. She can always check us out later. But while we have a chance, Ricky, under this caution, we're going to pull up Kelly Kill and find out how that, from his perspective, how that went. Hey there, Kelly. It's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. I saw you got caught up in that incident. How was it from your perspective?
It was bad. It's bad. So I got my truck fixed. I think I had about 35 seconds worth of repair, so didn't have to use my fast repair. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, we were discussing that as to whether or not you were going to have to use that fast repair. That's good news. What you got for him, Ricky?
Yeah, Kelly, it looked like there was just a little bit of a bump gone bad, and you got kind of hooked there. You was moving up through the field, so do you think you've got enough pace to get back up into the top 10? There's still plenty of time to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to work on it, that's for sure. Just chip away each lap here and just try to conserve my tires here and try to maybe I'm hoping I'm good on the long run here, so let's see what happens, right?
That's right, buddy. Well, good luck to you. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, hopefully that goes well for him there.
Jeremiah Burke, he's not taking the fast repair yet. He done some repair on pit road. He looks like he's back on pit road right now as they're coming one to green. So I don't know if he's going to take the fast repair now. He maybe had too much damage and he's going to have to take it.
Yeah. Well, Ricky,
yeah, that's what he did.
As we get going here, I'm going to turn this over to you for a second for some play-by-play. If you get it, if we have an accident, then I'll kick back over and try to get these driver cams up for some of our latecomers, so we can bring the folks the onboard perspective tonight.
Yeah, sounds good. So, I mean, Trevor Robertson going to be restarting out front. He's been in the lead for a little bit after we was going through the field there. It looks like him and Albert are still setting the pace. And 98, Jason Chrisman, for his very first race in the Vanquish Series, really putting on a good showing for himself there in third. Osborne in fourth, and they're tightening it up as they come to the green flag. We got the pace truck pulling off of track onto pit road, and Trevor going to bring them down slowly into the restart zone. He controls it, see if he gets a good start, and he does. He gets a start over Anderson Robertson with a really good jump. The 98 to the inside of Albert Anderson. Osborne to Anderson's rear bumper as they storm off into turn one. Robertson with a 6 truck length advantage already. And as you look through the field as they storm down the backstretch there, we got a big wad of trucks, 3 wide near the back. And up front, you've got Robertson kind of setting the pace. The 98 slid into second there for a second, but it looks like Albert Anderson's got a run on him coming back down. And I think we got a wreck as some guys sliding through the infield, and they're still wrecking on the front stretch. Dustin Eaton catches it. Looks like Tucker was almost in it. There was several guys all over the place. Mayberry hit the pits, so we'll have to see what happened. But there was a wad up on the front stretch, but luckily it kind of looks like they all got through there pretty clean. Yeah,
we'll go back and take a look at that. Kind of figured this might happen. Restarts, breed restarts, right? Let's take a look from the chopper cam here for you folks. Get you an overhead perspective. Looks like we're missing a little bit of it, so we'll back up here.
Looks like Osborne.
Well, there it starts at the
He
front.
lost it. He loses it in front of the pack. And he did hit the wall really hard, so he may have to take a fast repair. Gallagher hit him and goes down through the grass. Some other people hit the grass trying to miss everything.
Oh, Osborne gets loose. Saw that happen right in the middle of the turn. Everybody's just trying to dodge. Didn't look like a whole lot of carnage. Looks like people were able to do some evasive maneuvers there and save their trucks.
Yeah, it looks like I think Osborne probably had the most severe impact. Durkee hit the wall pretty hard with the right side too. We'll have to see if he has to take a fast repair or not. But him and Osborne definitely come out the worst for the wear of anybody that hit the wall there.
You're not missing anything up front, folks. Trevor Robertson is still your leader. Albert Anderson is in second. Jason Crispin in third. Derek Welch is in fourth, up 7 spots from where he started tonight. And Nick Tucker's up 8 positions for the evening, and it rounds out your top 5. We'll see if we can get on a discussion with the 81 truck. Jonathan Osborne. Hey, Jonathan Osborne, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. You got me.
Yes, sir.
So we saw that incident go down. What happened from your perspective?
She's a little bit slick on that restart. I was not expecting that. It was loose down in 1 and 2, and then it just let go on 3 and 4. It snapped loose on me. I had no control over it. Tried to get it gathered back up, but got the outside wall, and that was a heck of a mess.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from our perspective. It's just got a little bit loose going in there on cold tires. And fortunately, it didn't look like you sustained a great amount of damage, and people were very good at dodging you and limiting the amount of carnage.
Yeah, for sure. I still had to burn the fast repair, but we'll get back up in there and take it a little easier here on this restart. Hopefully, it'll be all right. Got a little heat in the tires now. So.
Yeah. Hey, Ricky, you got anything for the 81 truck?
No, I was going to ask if you had to take the fast repair, and you answered that question. So, but on that first run, as you went there, how did you feel about your pace? Was you pretty happy with where you was at during that first run?
Oh yeah, I was real happy. I just needed to take care of that right front just a little bit more. Get that nose in clean air a little bit more, not overdrive the injury one. But yeah, I was real happy with the pace. So we'll see what we can do up here.
All right,
it's going to be a little while before you get clean air again, but good luck here on this restart.
Yeah,
man.
Yes,
sir. Thank you, guys.
We'll let you get back to business. Thanks.
Alrighty.
Well, that's your 81 truck of Jonathan Osborne. As we're going to jump back up here to the front for the restart. You got the pace lights out on the truck. We're going green this time, just as we're completing 30 laps of competition in this 133-lap event. Your leader is Trevor Robertson. He is the control truck on the inside there. And we're green. He gets a nice jump on the inside there on that 99 truck of Albert Anderson. Anderson's not slow to the uptake. He just has a disadvantage. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, and he hits that inside wall.
Oh, and he gets, oh, no.
That's the 8 truck of Colin Decker. Looks like we had an incident with him that may have caught up some other people.
Chrisman was the one that he was trying to get inside of Anderson. Anderson slammed the door. I think Chrisman got the grass, and it shot him head on into the inside wall, and he bounced back across the track.
That's a 98 truck. That's Chrisman? Let's see who is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Colin Decker who got the worst of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Anderson. It starts with Chrisman and Anderson up front.
Here we go. Back you up a little bit, folks. So we're on board with Chrisman now. They're coming to the start. He is the second truck in line on the bottom line there. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like they get a little close. He catches the edge of the grass, and that will just jerk your truck to the left. and then he bounces back out into traffic and collects Colin Decker in the 8 car. Truck, excuse me. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, had such a good run going early, and he just clips the grass, and that definitely he had to take a tow as well, so he's probably going to go at least 1 lap down here on the tow.
I'm going to pull the mouth up so you can talk to him here for a second while I continue to work on these cams.
All right.
Hey, Dave, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. What you got me, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Dave. So kind of crazy early. It looked like we was going to go green for a little bit. And now we've had a couple of back-to-back cautions. What do you think? What do you think? Is it going to calm back down, or are we going to be in for this for a little while?
You know, I was just talking to Kelly about that, and I was in the back, so I topped off for fuel just in case. Kelly was in 17th, and I said, likelihood of us having a green flag run that long, you know, I told him I wouldn't pit if I was him. So he stayed out. And I'm in the rear because to avoid that, not this caution, but the one before that, I shot down pit road. Lori cleared my blacks, but it already penalized me and sent me to the back.
Yeah, it looked like there was a pretty big wad up on the front stretch, so it's probably still better that you hit the pits and saved your truck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather do that starting the back. It's a long race.
Yeah, you still got over 100 laps to go, so we've still got plenty of time. You look like you had some pretty good pace. Now, I know last week I said that you made contact with somebody and then you didn't. Now, tonight it looks like you might have made contact with the 31 and he saved it.
Yeah, I know he did. I looked back. I was like, damn. I don't know if I was going up or he was. I don't know if it was different angles, but I know I touched the back of his truck. But I'm pretty sure it was Paul Durkee, and I did look, and I was surprised that he saved it.
Yeah, it was a good save. He was definitely sideways, but you was both able to keep going. So now that you're here in the back and you just topped off, you're going to try to take care of these tires and just kind of ride around.
You know, I'm hoping that somehow or another we get stretched out and do some long runs. That way I can try to save tire and get somewhere, but I just don't think that's going to happen. No, I hate to burn my crap up and go for it, but I don't know.
Hey, Dave, what happened to your cameras, buddy?
It's on.
I don't have you, just so you know.
What? It was on, wasn't it?
It was. So I just let you know. I'm going to drop you back down so you can focus. You mess with that later.
Yeah, next stop, pit stop, I'll try to hit it again.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, guys. All right.
All right, folks, we're going back green here. You're going to see that pace truck dip off and give control back over to the 6 truck of Robertson. He's probably loving this. You know, all these cautions are just keeping him up there, not having to burn his stuff up, saving fuel, everything, Ricky.
Yeah, but in the other respect is there's only so many tricks you can pull on restarts to try to always get the jump, and he's done a little bit of everything, so let's see if he can keep doing that.
Yeah, that is true. We'll see. He's in the restart zone. He took off. He gets he gets clear of the 99 with the 21 up beside the 99 as well. We'll see what kind of battle that is. As you see, that low line is going to be the preferred groove. We're going to get a look back here, a little bit of traffic where probably the action is going to happen. Look at this, 3 and 4 wide nearly.
Yeah, a lot of tight racing here on the restart. It looks like Tucker trying to get under Anderson for third. Albert's had problems on these restarts so far tonight. I don't know if... and him and Tucker make contact. Anderson way up the track. And Anderson is
3
not
wide
happy
right now
on the radio.
He's 3 wide with Chris Klein and Eaton there. Yeah, he is going backwards. This is not where he wants to be. Eaton's right behind him there in that Texas flag truck immediately. We may have to get a little bit of conversation with him going on board right now with America's driver Albert Anderson, as he is trying to recover from what I'm sure he feels like was a disastrous restart here, down 5 positions from where he started tonight.
Yeah, that was just lucky that he didn't, eat the wall. He jumped on the radio, and I can tell you he was not happy about the contact, and he's probably driving a little bit angry. He's sipping that lemonade a little harder right now.
Yeah, might even be a hard lemonade. We'll see how he reacts once he's able to get back up to the front there. You said it was with Nick Tucker, but Nick Tucker's now behind him, so if there was a little bit of bad blood there, I think he'll save that for another time.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to fall back and then, run into somebody. I don't think he was happy at the moment there. And as I say that, Tucker blinks out. Oh, he's back in, but his connection is going haywire.
Yeah, I can see that he's popping in and out off of my stream as well. Back on board, it's pretty tight racing right there behind the Country Time Lemonade Chevrolet of Albert Anderson. Immediately following in his tracks is Mike Adamson, having a good night. These guys are in a very tight battle for the championship lead right now, but they used to be teammates. I fully expect, save for any kind of mistake, that there would be very clean racing between these two. Not easy racing by any means, but they're not going to take any crazy moves on one another and take themselves out of the championship hunt.
No, man, watching this battle behind them, everybody's trying to take that shallow entry in turn one. That's not going to keep working, especially if these guys are trying to block some of these other guys' runs. I'm afraid somebody may get shipped here pretty soon.
Oh, you can see a little bit loose there. It looked like for John Bachler, he's fine with it, but I saw like his rear end was a little tail happy on him. So somebody just hit the wall there in the gold truck.
Yeah, the gold truck just clipped the wall. I think he got away with it. I don't think he hit it. Oh, there's a wreck behind as the 22 gets spun out and slammed driver's side into the wall. That is a tough shot for Justin Brown in the King of the Hill truck.
Getting an overhead look from the chopper cam of Justin Brown racing out of... Oh, he tries not to take out the 19 there, and unfortunately he gets chipped himself into the outside retaining wall, pretty much pancaking that driver's side. I can't imagine he doesn't have any wheel damage from that.
Yeah, it looks like he had to tow, so I don't know if he was out of fast repairs already. I would thought that was contact you'd be able to drive it back to the pits from, but apparently it was maybe more serious than it appeared on the replay.
Yeah, he is sitting on pit road. Or maybe, sometimes you can be so frustrated in the moment, Ricky, that you end up just hitting that tow button because you're just so frustrated. So that could have happened as well. And then not realizing, hey, that's another 3 or 4 minutes you've just added when you could have driven it back to the pit box.
Yeah. But I mean, if he'd already taken his fast repair and then he hits the wall like that, maybe he feels like that was going to be too much damage. So we'll just have to see if he comes back out or if that ends his race.
All right, folks. So we did promise some driver cams tonight. While we have the opportunity, let's see if we can dial up Mr. Colin Decker here. He is down 18 positions from where he started. He is a lap down, but we're going to look at his onboard here. Pretty dark in there. I like his setup where we can see him when he's going through the gears. I think last week I noticed it at least. So I put the camera on him when he was doing a restart. It was kind of a cool perspective.
Looking at the chat real quick, George Rincon, hey gentlemen, and I say that loosely, hoping to be back soon. George, I cannot wait to have you back, buddy. Not the same without you.
We did have Mayberry at one point. Is he back? Mr. Cawthon is back. Who was the individual you said joined late? What was the name of that driver?
That was the 5 of Jesse Graham.
That's the only one that I didn't have labeled. We'll see if we can get him up on the camera as well.
We don't have a fastest lap award here in the Vanquish Series or a point for it like they do in NASCAR, but if anybody's interested, I know Albert's family's out there right now. Albert Anderson in the 99, fastest lap of the race at a 29.531.
I wonder if that came whenever he was a little upset.
I don't know when he said it, but it's very possible.
Sometimes I do that whenever I'm upset. I'm able to get up on the wheel a bit harder. We're going to take a look at Jesse Graham's onboard camera. We're finally able to get him. He is really in the dark here. You can barely see the driver kind of back in his cocoon. He's got, it looks like maybe a real racing seat in his rig.
Now that's some immersion there to get the actual racing seat. I try to be as comfortable as I can because I'm old and fat.
As we're getting ready to go back to the green here, folks, we're going to jump back to the front with Trevor Robertson. This time he has Derek Welch in the 21 truck on his outside for this restart. The 99 of Albert Anderson is starting in third, and you have Chris Gomes in the outside in that 38 truck. We'll see if we can get a clean restart here.
It'll be interesting to see if Albert can get a better restart now that he's not out there on the outside of Trevor.
And we're back under green. Nice. I mean, it's such an advantage for that leader to be able to start where they want to within the restart zone. And you're right, 99. Look at that start he had on the bottom. It is really tough trying to come around that outside line here at Texas because the preferred groove is right down on that white line, especially on cold tires.
Yeah, and it depends on if you're restarting in first or second gear. I'm usually a coward restarting second, but I know some guys can make that first gear restart work and can get really good launches.
We're looking back off the nose of Trevor Robertson's truck, racing out of McElroy, Arkansas. Looks like we're doing pretty good, but it was a hornet's nest back there in the back. As Albert looks
Anderson
to the inside there.
Lead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like he may try to pull the slide job here. Nope, not able to make and affect the pass yet as we're going down the back stretch into 3 and 4. But this is wide out, and he does have the preferred line going into that turn. 6 ducks under just in time to get across the nose of the 21 without clipping him. He's not giving up on this at all yet.
No, Anderson blocks the run of Robertson going into turn 1, but Trevor tries to just ride in his tracks, but I think he slowed up a little bit, and that gave Derek Welch the inside, and now he's trying to take the inside onto Trevor going into turn 3.
Trevor's got a battle in his hands with that 21 truck there. Good looking throwback paint scheme to the Sitco era with Adamson up to the front. And we expected to see this as well. Look at him going for the inside move there on the 21. Expect to see him diving low right here, perhaps. Nope, not yet. Tight racing up front here for the lead, folks.
Now, Robertson may have buzzed his tires a little on that outside lane a couple of times. Looks like he's trying to make some moves back as he's back under Adamson for third, and I'm sure he'll try to take his time getting back to the lead if he can. But there is battles all over the place. Osborne in the grass, passing people back here at the start-finish line.
Well, while we have the opportunity, what'd you get?
Sorry. Osborne made some pretty good contact with Gallagher, and we almost had a wad up at the back of the field.
Well, while we have maybe a chance here, we're going to try and get you guys a Crank It Up segment. So if you have a great speaker system and you want to crank it up, now's the time to do it, folks. We're going to take you for one lap around here, maybe 2, of Crank It Up. your Crank It Up segment, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. We try to make sure we can get that as loud as possible for you folks out there with Bose sound systems or something comparable. Just kind of put you in the feel of the race. This is what the drivers are hearing inside of their cockpits as they compete here tonight. And we were able to get through that entire thing, Ricky, without having a caution.
That's a miracle because I'm watching 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th on back. These guys are really throwing haymakers at each other right now. Bump draft down the straightaways. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's so many lines to run here that just lends itself to incredible racing if you can keep it clean. But that's the issue. When you just step over the line, almost to your outside, or if you get a little loose going in and you dip down into the lower lane there, it can turn tragic pretty fast.
Yeah, and I know racers want to race, but watching this, I know how much they are burning their stuff up racing so hard, which is good for us. But if I was out there, I would probably be trying to save my tires a little, because if they could get another 10 laps or so in this run, these guys that are really throwing sliders on each other, their tires are going to be screaming.
No doubt. As we're going to go back here and take a look from the perspective of Jeremiah Burke in that 53 truck. We were noticing he was racing earlier pretty hard. I think it was with Kelly Kill and someone else that we saw, but you can see the focus as he's sitting there. He's in the traffic here, really trying to fight his way back to the front.
Yeah, I think he's probably, he's had to take his fast repair. He's watching what's going on in front of him, and I think he's trying to be patient right now and work his way up back slowly, because, well, you know, when you get 2 or 3 wide, 2 or 3 rows deep in front of you, there's no reason to try to run as hard as you can, because you're not going anywhere anyway.
No, right now he's running in the 20th position. He is down 10 spots from where he started the race. To your point, probably used his fast repair already and definitely wants to take it a little bit on the more cautious side, hoping that this race maybe runs long. He's able to use his long run skills to get through this traffic as he's trying to make a move on the 10 right there, coming up on, looks like Barish in the 55. No, that's Dave Mayberry in the 29. And Dave is sitting back here in 19th position. To go back to the full screen here. Yeah, so that spot is for position that the 53 is looking at right there in front of him. We saw like Dave scrape the wall there, but maybe no worse for the wear. Got it there kind of clean. You see there in the chat, Albert Anderson's encouraging Junior, Albert Anderson Jr. to stay cool, be patient. He's doing a good job. He's up there right now leading this race.
Yeah, we got a 3-track breakaway almost. Anderson's pulling away a little bit from Derek Welch in second. Robertson, he's got his tires back under him now. I think he's running some pretty good laps. He's back up to third. They've dropped Adamson a little bit, and then you've got the crux of Eaton and Klein, and then you got the whole mess behind them.
Yeah, and even with Albert's able to pull out to, it looks like a half second, just over half a second lead on Derek Welch. And actually, Albert is my pick. I know we're only halfway through the season, Ricky, but he's my pick to win the overall championship. It's just these big speedways suit him, and he's right there, 1 point out of the lead. You know, he smells that championship lead and the first championship in the VRL series.
Yeah, and Albert Anderson being able to run great at a track here like Texas, which isn't the prototypical super speedway where you draft, and still running with this kind of pace has really got to make him feel good about his championship chances.
Yeah, for sure, because if he comes out of here with a victory tonight, that is going to be a feather in his cap, as we only have at that point 4 races remaining on the schedule. Now, that's not to say, as good as this man is at these super speedways that we're going to have coming up as well, there's no there's no drop weeks, rather. Nothing is going to bail him out should he get in trouble at one of these super speedways, and many times the trouble is not of your own making.
No. And that's why you've got to bank as many points as you can at a track like Texas or Homestead or any of these other mile in Las Vegas. Those types of tracks are the tracks that is not as big of a wild card, so you really got to do well there, because there's always going to be a calamity at a track like ISS or Talladega that you've got to navigate.
Okay, we're going to try to go through the field again, folks. Go back here and go on board with the 55 truck of Tom Barish. He's running in the 23rd position. He's down 2 spots from where he started the race tonight. I don't know that I saw him get in any trouble, Ricky. Maybe you saw it during one of the incidents, but Tom's, I don't know if he's in super save mode or what's going on here, but he's got a little distance between him and Jonathan Marsh in front of him at 21st.
I think I haven't seen him in any problems, so maybe he's just trying to save his stuff for a late race, for a run late here in the race, save his fast repair and save his equipment.
Yeah, I mean, the other side of the coin here that we don't know, he could have damage that he's dealing with and trying not to use his fast repair, or already have used it. But you can see there's quite a distance between him and 21st position. So we're going to move forward with Jonathan Marsh on the 80 truck. He's got a pretty good, so they're both in kind of like this distance spot here. Don't know what's going on with either one of their trucks not having the inside knowledge of from the pit box perspective. But Jonathan Marsh, he's running here right where he started at 19th position.
We do have guys pitting for green flag stops, so maybe they're trying to, stretch it an extra lap or two. Maybe they're trying to make it on one less pit stop. We'll have to try to do some math.
Yep, and as you said that, Jonathan Marsh goes into the pit here. We didn't get to that. Well, I'll go ahead and kind of go over that now as information about the race and the track. So, as I think I did mention, there's 133 laps total in the fuel level, but the fuel window, 33 to 35 laps. And when we're looking, let's see, when does Jonathan Marsh go in last time? He just hit the pit box, so I'm not actually able to see that. But you got other folks like up front, Chris Gones. Last time he was on pit lane was lap 23. He's got to become soon. All those, unless this is an error, what I'm reading here, all those pace laps under caution definitely is helping him to stretch out his fuel mileage there.
Yeah, I think that is correct. Albert Anderson just pits from the lead. He's in the pits right now for his 4-tire stop. Now, he pitted a couple laps later than Trevor Robertson, so let's see if that allows Trevor to leapfrog Albert off the track.
Yep, so it's going to get a little crazy and wonky here, folks. If you're watching from home as they make these green flag pit stops, you're going to see the leaderboard get all combobulated. But once it's over, we'll run through the field and show you where your favorite driver is running. Right now, Russ Kilgore in the 2 truck is out front. He was last on pit lane on lap 41. So he should be in pretty good shape right now. But not much further.'s going to have to make pit stop as well.
So if they can run 34 or 35 laps, guys that have pitted already they're not gonna make it on one more stop. But if anybody's still out there right now and they pit, I think they can make it on one less stop than the rest of the field. So Kilgore, Player, Kelly Kill, Mayberry, I think those 4 right now are in a really good spot if it stays green.
Yeah, because right now they would have to, see, that would put them back to, they're 29 laps, you're right. If they pit now, they can definitely make it to the stop, which 98 or further roughly is going to get them to the end of the race. Not necessarily through the green-white checker. There is one green-white checker that's set up for this event. So if I'm then, maybe want to pad that by a few laps, which it looks like they're doing right now, and they're able to do so. Kelly's had a rough night so far. Maybe this is going to work out in his favor if it goes green from here and he's able to work this strategy. We are completing lap 71 here as he's making his way in second place through turns 3 and 4. This might work out for him. That's how it happens sometimes, Ricky. You know, always you think, just go there, go fast, turn left. Sometimes you got to get a little lucky on the strategy.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think those 4 guys right now are on a totally different strategy than the entire rest of the field. And if they can make it on one less stop, it doesn't matter how fast these other guys are. You're not going to make up that kind of time on the track to get back to them. So those four should be in the catbird seat.
And you see trucks going around him very fast, like Chris Goins here, followed by Eaton in the 14 truck. They have made their pit stops already, and they're just trying to get their laps back. They're not quite there yet. They got to get up there and get in front of Russ Kilgore. Do that.
So we still have the four on the track. Milner is the fourth truck of those that's 30 laps into a run. Mayberry, Kelly, Kill, and Kilgore all the other three, and everybody else, at least has 5, 6, 7 or more laps since their last pit stop.
I don't know about you, Ricky, but this is starting to have kind of a green flag look to it, which happens often here at Texas. If we get past more than probably 10 laps or so past our restart, it seems like that happens more often than not. So this might fall right in their lap. Don't know if the 14 and them are going to have, maybe they're making up time right now on speed.
Yeah, it could. What I'm seeing is even with the guys that have pitted, because they've staggered so much, there are a lot of different closing rates and speed rates, especially going into turn 1 and 2. I've seen 2 or 3 trucks almost get ran over. So even though it does have the green flag look to it, there's always a chance somebody will accidentally catch somebody a little bit too quickly.
Right now you got Tom Barish on pit road. Scott Milner has made his pit stop as well. See if he's going to be... he's just now putting up his right sides there. So he is dropping from... He was up in the top 5, dropping back. But this still might fall right into his strategy. And he's going to be able to race this thing out on one more stop. You see the 64, 66. I'm looking at different laps when folks went in. Like Jeremiah Burke went in on 69.
And now Burke will probably be able to make it from lap 69 on one more stop.
Yeah, that'll put him at, for sure. It'll put him at 104. He'll definitely be able to make it. But that's good. That's where it's going to end. These folks who are pitting now are going to be able to make it to the end. So save for untimely caution, this is probably might be the winning move. It just depends on which one out of the the different groups and the different strategy groups are going to win it. They might be just racing each other.
Yeah, as far as the ones we know are totally safe, Kilgore had several seconds on Kelly Kill, who was on the same strategy, so he may be the one to watch toward the end of the race. But Burke, if he can make it hitting that much earlier, he's probably going to come out ahead of Kilgore. So there is a lot of stuff going on right now.
You got Kelly and you got Mayberry on pit road together right now. They are teammates, so they are working this strategy together. They're definitely going to be able to make it here. It's going to be interesting. I hope that this goes green, Ricky. I want to see how the chips fall.
Yeah, it's always interesting when it comes down to a strategy race to see the guys that know how to save gas, the guys that are having to go wide open and try to catch these guys that's making one less pit stop. And it's a strategy race the whole time. So even if you're watching this and you see these guys just running around, they're always trying to figure out what they can do to improve their position.
You're riding on board here with Dave Mayberry as he's forcing or coming out of the pits here. See where he falls in line. He's right now, he's in 21st position. Scott Milner makes his way past him there. But he's got fresh tires. We'll see what kind of hay he can make with them. All right, so back up at the front, your current leader is now Derek Welch in the 21 truck, followed very closely and perhaps being overtaken by the 6. He thinks better of it there. I thought he was looking for the outside, but maybe he's just going to be content with riding here for a moment. But then you have Albert Anderson. These trucks went in at 64, 63, and lap 65 respectively. So Albert has the freshest tires out of this trio. And it's likely the reason he is behind these two is that they undercut him on the pit stop strategy. As you see, a big slide from the 21.
And there is a chance that these guys that pitted may make it. I mean, Welch has got 15 laps. That means he pitted at lap 65. And if he can make it to 95, that'd be lap 100 or 99. Then he, in theory, could go to 133 and would be running out on the last lap. So if he could save a lap of gas somewhere, he could probably make it. So anybody that pitted that has less than 15 laps could probably make it, which means Anderson and Chris Goins should have the best shot at making it of the guys that's up front right now.
It's probably, maybe that's why we're not seeing Albert actually close up on these two, as he is saving and conserving his fuel to be able to make that strategy work, like you were mentioning. Albert's right. He's racing out of Washington, D.C. Been with this series, well, with the league itself, the entirety of its existence for 5 years. One of our main established drivers. Always great to watch, incredible personality, and he has the biggest fan base that we have in VRL, with the Anderson clan out there pulling for him every time we hit the track.
Yeah, absolutely. And Albert's such a stand-up guy. We knew that he needed to be part of VRL when me and you wrecked with him at Michigan in a recruiting race a long time ago. And he was fun about it. He apologized. And you're like, this is the kind of guy that you want to race against. And that was our meeting with Albert. Me and you coming about 20 miles an hour faster than him, thinking that he could block us. And it didn't work out so well, but we become really good friends after that mishap.
Yeah, it's funny. You drivers do have a long memory. I actually don't remember that happening, but you definitely remember that. We do have in the chat there, Senior Anderson, so Papa Anderson, saying, hey, can't take anything for granted. Everyone is out there is hungry. There's no doubt about that. These drivers don't cut each other an inch. They love each other like brothers, but they won't cut an inch.
Absolutely not. And these guys are all going different speeds now, so it's definitely got, like you said, that green flag look to it, but they're all on such different strategies. I don't know which guys are trying to save, which are think that they can just run it all the way out to the next pit stop. I'm kind of confused on what's going to happen. We'll know a lot more after this next pit stop. Yeah,
we sure will. So right now we're on board with Scott Milner to try to run through the trucks real quick. He last went in on lap 73, as we just saw. I'm going to skip to this. Mike Adamson is on pit road right now, making probably going to be his money stop. Lap 85, it's a little bit stretching it, don't you think, Ricky? 85, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he can make it. Maybe he had some kind of a mishap. While you're going through the field there, I'll go back and look and see if I see anything that may have happened.
Yeah, that's only going to get him to 120 from here. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and go back, and we'll go back on board with Scott. Again, he is running in the, if my overlay here will cooperate, in the 20th position, down 2 spots from where he started this evening. Then we're going up here to Dave Mayberry. Now, where he's running right now is probably not going to be indicative of how the race results come out, because he last went in pit road on lap 76. He's definitely working this strategy along with others, including Kelly Kill, his teammate, who's 2 spots in front of him. Now we're on board with Nick Tucker, racing out of Snellville, Georgia. Nick is in the 18th position, down 5 from where he started. It looks like he's trying to make a pretty good fight of it with the guy in front of him. Nope, that's going to be a lap truck there, the 10 truck of Cawthon. Moving forward to the 01 truck out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Kelly Kill is running 17th, up 6 spots from where he started. But again, he's most likely, if this goes green and it has that look, going to have a better result than you see right now, running in the 17th position. Forward of him is Russ Kilgore out of Yorkville, Illinois. Russ has been with us off and on for years now. Really enjoy racing with him. He's a consummate fast driver that you definitely are going to have to work to be able to beat him. He's up 8 spots from where he started this evening, running in the 16th position. Last time he was on pit road was 77, so he's kind of in that spot with Dave and Kelly.
Trevor Robertson really slow. Oh, him and Welch almost wrecked on the backstretch, and Robertson, I think, has destroyed his right front.
He did, and you see the damage right there in his right front. He's kind of crabbing going down pit road. We'll see if we can get a look at that on a replay here.
It happens down the back straightaway on lap 88. Oh, Welch hit the wall out of 2. Oh, and he got really sideways. Oh, what a bad break for Trevor Roberts.
Here we go right here.
And Welch. He's got to be hurt a little bit.
At the time, they were running 1-2. Oh, they all hit the wall. All of your top 3 runners. And 1 and 2, 6 probably gets the worst of it there. Destroys his truck. Let's see if we can get one back up here. Derek seems to be, he's still running the second position. Don't know how bad he's hurt. Actually, I am behind folks on that one. I was just showing you that replay, but all three of your front runners hit the wall there as you're watching live as Trevor Robertson is coming off of pit road at lap 90. He still had to have another. He was fortunate in a way, Ricky. He dove down pit road there, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't involved in the incidents earlier. He had a fast repair waiting for him there. Maybe this is still work out for him, although I don't know that he's going to have a shot at the win if it goes green.
No, if it goes green, he's definitely done. But if they have
no, he's still damaged.
He catches a caution.
Look at him. Oh. He's still damaged. Did he not have his fast repair turned on?
Oh no. That
may have bit him. He's back on pit road. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at it right now. Your former second place, Trevor Robertson, McCrory. Man, he's had bad luck the last few weeks. Miami Homestead, his entire internet went down with a nearly 10-second lead he had on the field. He was going to walk away with that win. See what he does here.
It fixes it. I saw it pop out, so he's got a fast repair in him now, but the only chance he's got is a couple of cautions and lucky dogs and everything else, and even then it's going to be almost impossible to get back up into the hunt.
Yeah, he's in 23rd position right now. It's going to be a long shot for him to come back from that. That's unfortunate. Kind of one of those instances, not of your making. Same thing at Miami Homestead, not of his making. Incredibly fast driver and incredibly bad luck these last few weeks. We'll jump back up to
Eaton.
Go ahead.
Has had a moment and wrecked on the front stretch and really destroyed his truck. He's trying to limp it back around to the pits, I think.
You can see there he is definitely wiggling as he's getting around there, gingerly trying to get it back to pit road. Fast as well. Hopefully he doesn't add a speeding penalty on top of it. You can see that right front tire is just angled out and just dragging it along. So I hope he has a fast repair. Otherwise, he's going to be sitting there for a while. Oh, he just fixed it. So he did have a fast repair in there. He was going to have to make another stop anyway. 95 is probably, I would say, 3 laps short of where you need to be to make it to the end. So we'll see how this works out for him here. All right, folks, we're going to get you back to the front. Oh, we'll get you back to the front here. Albert Anderson is your leader by 1.86 seconds and increasing over Derek Welch. I think Derek might be actually either has damage or hitting pit road because he's increasing it at an exponential rate there. Jason Gaines in the 83 truck is your third place driver. The 38 of Chris Gones is riding in the 4th position. Jonathan Osborne, we saw some issues with him earlier and wondered if he was going to be able to get back up front. He is in the 5th position right now in that 81 truck. Rounding out your top 5. What do you got, Ricky?
I was watching Anderson. We're going to have to see when he pits. If he makes it another lap or two, I think he could make it to the end. He's going to have to probably get to 98.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's 30 laps. He's 31 laps right here at the line on this fuel stint.
31 laps. He's right now. He's completing 98 right now. He should be in good shape. We're probably going to see him hit the pits here. If I could, I would go another lap if I were him. Maybe another couple. We'll see what he decides to do here. Yep, he's going back around.
I would go another lap or two just in case there's a green light checker.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would like to bank 4 laps if you can. I don't know if he's going to be able to go that far, but bank what you can in the event there is an incident. As you can see late in the run there, we have folks who have trouble with their tires. He's making his way back down the backstretch here. Not going to be surprised to see him if he jumps on pit road. He'll cross the line to complete lap 99 on pit road if he does do that. Doesn't seem to be slowing up. As far as I can tell, he's going to go around again.
But Jason Gaines is coming in from 2nd, and if he thinks he can make it to the end, see how much time he makes up on Anderson by undercutting, because he was running about half a second a lap faster than Albert right before he came in to make this pit stop.
And he was, about 2.5 seconds back. He might be able to make that up just in a few laps. So Anderson is probably noting that and is going to take himself down pit road as well. And here he comes, just as we expected. We'll stay on board here with him. for his stop.
Oh, Welch almost wrecked coming into the pits. I don't know if he was going speeding, but he was sideways and he almost hit the inside pit wall.
So Albert gives up the lead here to go on pit road for what presumably is his final stop for the race. Now it's a question of, and I'm sure he's praying that this goes green.
Kyle Vaught in the chat cheering, said Albert's his favorite driver and upset the Trevor wreck there. We got B in the chat that says, Father, good evening.
That's
And
my son,
guess
Brandon.
That is Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my son, Brandon. He's up in D.C. with Albert. It was probably pulling for Albert since they're up in D.C. together. But yeah, good to see you, Brandon. Thanks for joining the live stream. Going to get dicey here. Right now, Anderson's running in 12th position. He's going to try to make some qualifying laps to make sure that he comes out on the right end of this. As we know, Jason Gaines is still behind him, though, so that didn't. He was not able to leapfrog. You see him right there in the picture, though. That's for position between the 99 and 83. What is going to be presumably the lead and the win for this race? Now, 99 has a tire advantage, but he's on cold tires. So 83 knows this. Oh, don't hit the wall! Oh
no!
My God!
Anderson head on into the wall. Oh, Kilgore head on into the wall.
That's a tragic end to Albert Anderson's in his night there. On cold tires going in there, it's not unheard of to get kind of. That's just incredible. I'm sure he is. You can tell he's probably going to be completely dejected.
Did that not bring out the caution?
It did not.
No. Oh, well, he's definitely done for the night then as far as contention. I don't even know if he can drive it back to the pits.
He didn't. He towed.
I can't believe that didn't bring out the caution. Wow.
Yeah, you didn't have just him wrecking. You had two trucks completely right there. iRacing sometimes misses this. Now, just understand, folks who are watching at home, the admins do not control these cautions. They're purposely put onto iRacing to ensure complete fairness and no kind of game by one driver or another because of any kind of bias towards a driver. So it's put on iRacing, and all of our drivers know this, that if it doesn't throw it, that's on iRacing.
We've had
go ahead.
Some real attrition. Dustin Eaton has disconnected. He's out of the race. Paul Durkee, Chris Klein, and now Russ Kilgore after that head-on impact. They're all out of the race, and we're down to 23 trucks on the track.
So you just saw Jeremiah Burt give up the lead as he's hitting pit road right now for his last stop of the race. And Kelly Kill is inheriting the lead. He was last on pit lane on lap 76. So you definitely got to come one more time. The question of when.
And now, if they caught a caution right now, Kelly, Mayberry, Scott Milner, that strategy still could work out well for them because they would be up front.
You see driver Albert Anderson in the chat there, Ricky. Let's see, he says, too much damage. My race is over. Laugh out loud. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Yeah, Kelly came in 76. Presumably, if he takes it to its furthest point, which I'm thinking is maybe 35 laps or so, he's going to have to come in by lap 111, I would imagine. We're on 107 right now. So, I mean, I don't see a harm, Ricky, in probably riding this out. There should have been a caution right there, but maybe he'll catch one, and this strategy will be even better for him than perhaps it is if it runs green the rest of the way.
You know, and Mayberry makes pretty good contact with the 80 truck coming out of turn 2, right as you said that. They didn't wreck, but yeah, there's a wreck around the corner. It looks like every lap almost.
Did you see Dave Mayberry leaving the track there to hit pit road from the second position? Going to make his last stop, which, well, I would imagine we're going to see Kelly go in right here behind him in that 01 Bud machine.
All the points guys are having issues tonight. Adamson's up front, but he pitted so early. He's got to pit again. He cannot make it. So even though he's up front right now, he's going to go to the back. Kelly Kill and Dave Mayberry, because of their pit strategy, are going to be running at the back. And Albert Anderson's out of the race. Cawthon was in the top 5 in points. He's running in 19th right now. So all the players in the top 5 in points are having rough nights.
As you see, Kelly Kill giving up the lead, coming in right now with 25, coming to 24 laps to go. I did pop up the track map for everyone to see how spread out the field is right now. So it's probably unlikely, say, for an individual maybe losing control of their truck, that we're going to have another caution.
In the chat, Albert Anderson Sr. was proud of Junior and gave it a hell of a run. Albert, the driver, in the chat said fun starting on the pole, led a bunch of laps. He thought he had it saved for a second, but then it snapped the other way, and that's just the way it works sometimes. Is some days you're the windshield and some days you're the bug. And Albert was definitely the bug out of turn 2.
So as we saw Kelly Kill get on pit road and come off there, so far he's only dropped to the 11th position. He is going to have fast tires. We'll see how this works for him. You got Jesse Graham in front of him. Jonathan Marsh.
Nick Tucker wrecking into turn 3. No caution. They was 3 wide for 10th. And Tucker is destroyed.
Let's see what we can see from this perspective. He's up against the wall there. Oh, looks like the 80 truck goes up. I have to get another look at that.
3 wide. I think the 80 maybe was trying to give the inside truck a little more room. I don't know if he got spooked, but that was just a tough break for Tucker. He's victim of circumstances.
You see, this is the same incident here. Oh, yeah. He goes to turning it in the corner. 80 tries to give a wide berth. It looks like the 5 truck on the bottom line there. Oh, it just gets destroyed. But the way he hit it and he kept it pointing in the right direction ended up not being a caution. We're back on board with Kelly Kill right now. He is in the 10th position. And we talked to him earlier, folks, about possibly talking to him. There's nobody around him right now. He's running laps here. Let's get a quick word with him. Hey, Kelly Kill, this is Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're looking at you running the 10th position. Just like your strategy might come into play here with 20 laps to go. You're probably one of the fastest trucks on the track right now. Do you think it's going to work out for you? Because we're just crunching the numbers, and I know you're driving and crunching the numbers and giving us an interview, thankfully, in the midst of that.
Yeah, I'm my teammate, me and Dave Mayberry, we're hoping it stays green because we're thinking fuel strategy, and we're hoping I got about a half a lap. They're going to run out. We're going to pass them. So we'll see what happens.
Gonna be close. You're gonna need to run some qualifying laps here. You do have the freshest tires of everybody in front of you, as far as that's concerned. So you should have an advantage there with 19 to go, buddy. You got anything for him, Ricky?
Now, Kelly, looks like you got a pretty good strategy out there. Just stay after it, and it looks like you're going to have a pretty good finish either way, even if some of these guys do make it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank you for doing this in-race reporting, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah. See you guys.
I got to tell you, that's pretty awesome for Kelly to volunteer to be able to do that and give the folks at home a chance to hear from a driver in the midst of the battle. I don't know if I would want to do it, Ricky, but we did question and we made sure that the driver that we were going to do it with had permission ahead of time.
Yeah, Kelly's he is Mr. Cool, so he's able to pull that off and drive, and he could chew gum and race at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. He is up 14 spots, and since he came out of the pits, I want to say he came out 12th or 13th. He is now running in the 9th position. So far, the strategy's working out for him. It is going to be a question of how much those folks in front of him can save. Are they saving? Are they going to go, much slower than he is? Going around a lap truck right there of the 10 car of Andrew Cawthon. And then this next position here is that Jonathan Marsh? Nope, that's the 80 truck. So he's passed a couple of lap cars here. That is not for position. His next truck he's going to go for is going to be Jonathan Marsh, as you can see, is in that gold and white 80 truck there, racing out of Beaumont, Texas.
Give a shout out to Jeremiah Burke. He's worked his way up into the top 5. He's got plenty of tire. He's only got 12 laps on the on this set of tires, so some of the freshest tires out there, he may be able to sneak up into the top 3.
And Jeremiah is looking in good shape there. He's got to get after John Schoenbachler to get up into that top 4 there. Let's see, where is he running back from? And he does have, out of the folks in front of him, he has the freshest tires, having gone on pit lane on lap 104. John has 100, went on lap 100. Player went on 102, Gones 101, and then Jason Gaines, who's your current leader, went in on lap 98. He's talking to somebody right there, probably talking a lot of strategy and what he's trying to pull off and see if he can catch. Oh, looks like the 21 truck got a little piece of the wall there as he's passing him. That is not for position. He's trying to chase down that 12 truck of John Schoenbachler, as you can see up there in turns 3 and 4, coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah, Burke is only a couple of seconds behind Player, who's in 3rd. Player has 4 laps. Yeah, no, 2 laps older tires than Burke. So Schoenbachler, he's got a couple laps older than that, so he's probably going to drop a little quicker. And Jason Gaines has got 21 laps on his tires. He's got the most laps on the tires of anybody out near the front. And his 5-lap average has dropped off to a 30.87 when you got Chris Gones in 2nd, 5-lap average of 30.62. So Gones is making some ground up on the leader right now.
You can see the leader right here, Jason Gaines. He is the number 1 you see on your screen on the track map outlined in green. He is crossing the start-finish line right now. And you go back to Gones, is just right there behind him. Coming out of 3 and 4 is Andy Player, rather, followed by John Schoenbachler. So Gaines has a sizable lead. The question is, when did he go in? He went in on lap 98. He is going to be danger close of making it on fuel. So if he's not able to save because these guys are pushing him to get up there because they don't have to save, it might end up running him out of gas.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to be. He's in the danger zone either way because Gones with the fresher tires is gaining 2 or 3 tenths a lap, and with the amount of laps to go, I think he's going to get there either way, whether he runs out or not.
You can see there is a 1.3 second advantage over Chris Gones. Seems to be holding pretty steady. Maybe Chris is also having to save his fuel. Chris was last on. He went on. He has more fuel, presumably, depending on what he took on pit road, because he went in on a 101 as compared to Jason Gaines. You can see here's Jason right there, and here's Chris. As we're looking at the battle box here, he's closing in ever so slightly, but it's kind of maintaining like that 1.2, 1.3 advantage. Maybe one of them didn't take 4 tires and the other one did. But man, Jason we're under 10 laps to go here. If he can make it on fuel, he's probably going to win this.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Gones just ran a 30.93. Gaines ran a 31.11. So he's still gaining a couple of tenths a lap. 0.9 seconds behind. I think that he's still going to have time to get there unless Gaines finds another gear.
Yeah, he's down to almost under a second. He's gaining on him now, but you got another 7 seconds back to Player in 3rd. So it's going to come down between these two right here. And honestly, Jones has the fuel to be able to push Gaines out of contention potentially, because he has such a razor thin margin and older tires.
Yeah, and the battle for the last podium spot, Burke and Player are running within a tenth of each other, but Burke is catching Player, so there's going to be a battle for the lead and a battle for 3rd, it looks like.
You're riding on board the roof cam right now with Jeremiah Burke. As he can see that 13 truck there in the distance, but 7 laps is a good ways to go.
Now the last lap there, Gaines runs a 30.98 to Gones 31.10, so he picked it up a little bit. Gaines with a little faster lap time than Gones on the last lap. Let's see how they click off this time. It looks like he's gapping him a little bit now. Maybe he was saving gas and he saved enough and he's decided to go.
Yeah, and by saving gas, he was also saving tires. He has gapped it back up to, he was about to go under a second. Now he's at 1.2. And that's the distance you see there is we are coming to 5 to go. Barring some kind of incident or him running out of gas, I think that he's probably got the distance he needs to be able to maintain and bring this home to victory. That is Jason Gaines in 83.
Yeah, after he leveled off there and started running some quicker laps, I believe you're right. He's going to have enough to hang on as long as he's got enough gas. I mean, he could sputter. I think he's going to be really close to running out of gas.
Yeah, I agree with you. 89 was the limit, and if he's been running it hard, you just don't know. And driving styles make a difference in how much gas you burn. Some drivers really drink the fuel. Others are able to save it and still be fast, which is amazing. We just have to find out which one Gaines is tonight. But he is still maintaining that about a 1.2 gap. You know, every so often, Chris Goins will close in a little bit on him, but he stretches it back out. 4 to go.
Derek Welch had to pit again. He wasn't going to make it, so tough break for the 21. He's coming out of the pits right now.
This is what you want to see in the last 3 laps of the race. Just to wonder how nervous he might be in that cockpit right there. Do I have enough? Will I be able to maintain the speed as we drop down again to under 1 second? Coming to 2 to go. He's on the backstretch coming to 2 to go, but Goins has dropped it under a second now, which is the first time I think I've seen it back up to over a second now. Going through 3 and 4. He's running out of time, Goins is, to be able to make any kind of a move. We question fuel mileage now. Does he have it?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the question. He's going to be coming to the white flag. Does he have enough? I would think.
Oh no!
Maybe he does.
Is he trying to break? Oh no! Is he? Oh no! Never mind. I saw the 21 similar paint scheme. I had for a moment there. My heart kind of fluttered for the 83. Last lap, white flag. We're on board with Chris Goins. We're going to see if something happens to that 83 truck that he's chasing. He has caught up. He is within 0.8 seconds of the lead. Jason can almost just glide to the finish now. Is he going to make it?
He's still under power. I'm looking at the speed. He's dropping, but he's still got power. I think he could coast to the win.
He's going to make it. He's going to make it. And Jason Gaines is your winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The 83 mastered the art of saving fuel to make sure he had enough at the end of this race. Incredible. Good finish. I was really concerned about him being able to make it there. As we watched this battle between him and the 38, who's going to do what? A chess match at 180 miles per hour. What a win for Jason Gaines. And you see the congratulatory little bump there from the 38 truck of Chris Goins. The third place finisher is Andy Player in the 13 machine. Jeremiah Burke brought it home in 4th. And John Schoenbachler rounds out your top 5. That was a good finish. I mean, I know folks at home want to see bumper to bumper and everything, but there's something to be said for a well-played strategic race that you're able to bring it home, even if it's over a second.
Yeah, and he just good job for Gaines to avoid all the calamity. I mean, there was several guys that, dropped out of the lead or had issues. Trevor Robertson, Albert Anderson, we had another couple of guys. It was Derek Welch was up front most of the night, and all of them had problems. And Gaines kept it under him and kept the truck clean and comes home with the win.
As you can see right there, he didn't have enough gas for a burnout. It looked like he tried to do one and it went ahead and faltered on him there. So, hey folks, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back to interview your race winner, the 83 truck of Jason Gaines.
quench your mama's racing stream.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is Alan and Ricky back from the break, and we're going to interview your race winner, the 83 truck, Jason Gaines out of Asheboro, North Carolina. And great race, Ricky. I'm looking forward to this interview. I don't know. I think it's the first time we've interviewed Mr. Gaines since we started doing broadcasting for the Vanquish Series. Let's get him up into the booth right now. Hey, Mr. Jason Gaines, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. You got me. Hey, we're doing great. Hey, man, incredible race for you tonight. How did you adapt to the track conditions and the cautions and everything to come up with the strategy that puts you on the top step of the podium this evening? Yeah, we were actually looking at that. We had our camera on you for the burnout. Looked like you tried to do one and it just petered out on you, and you went ahead and towed to the pit. So yeah, great ability for you to be able to manage not only your fuel but your tires. I'm sure you were being pushed. That truck behind you, the 38 of Chris Gomes, he had an advantage on both of those aspects, and you were still able to maintain that gap there towards the end, about a 1.1 to a 1.3 gap consistently, and bring it home to a win. I was going to ask you about what was the key moments of the race for you. It sounds like the first pit stop and maybe the snafu you had there was able to put you in a better position to win this race. So I'll move on to the next thing. What was your thoughts? What were you worried about in that final few laps there? Because we were worried for you, honestly. Yeah, no doubt. We did see that incident between you, the 99 and the 83 there. That was a tough call. I didn't get a close look at it. Maybe Ricky did, but I'm going to pitch it over to Ricky for the next few questions. Well, they should be able to hear us. I see that we're live. Go ahead and say something, Jason. All right, try it again. There we go.
Yeah. Does that work?
Yep, it's working now. All right, go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, so Jason, it was a good run, buddy. It looked like kind of just fell into your lap there. You had the pace anyway, but there was a lot of other misfortune with other guys. I know Albert there got a little bit loose out of turn 2 right in front of you, but Derek Welch, Trevor Robertson, some other guys had problems, and it looked like you was just able to keep your nose clean pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, it was. I had a good long run speed on the truck for sure. I've raced here before in the league over in the Wednesday night league, and I always run well here at Atlanta. These kind of tracks kind of suit my driving style. I seem to be able to cut on the bottom off 1 and 2 and gain a lot of time and position doing that. So, and I'm able to somehow keep the right front cool down doing it too. So that helped. Longer in the runs, I was gaining on the guys in front of me. And yeah, it definitely, with them having problems, I hate to see anybody have problems, but that did help contribute to me getting up there and getting a win tonight too.
Yeah, so we try to find out new things about drivers all the time. So, is there anything interesting about you that you'd like the audience to know that maybe that's something cool about Jason Gaines?
I won't know. I'm kind of, Albert tells me all the time I'm quiet because he always says that you don't know I'm coming up on you until I'm there, because I don't say a whole lot in the chat. I don't know if that's just focus or what, but sometimes in real life I'm kind of a cut up kind of guy, but I do keep quiet in the chat when we're racing. It's just a main focus on it, but not a whole lot. I'm a big jokester. I love racing, love golfing if I can afford to go, but yeah, it's I like hanging out with the guys and racing. It's something to kind of get away from reality and let loose a little bit.
That's cool. So I saw that you're from Asheboro, North Carolina. They've got the nicest zoo I've ever been to. You like the zoo over there?
It's, if I'm not mistaken, the largest or one of the largest in the country. So, I mean, I live maybe 10 minutes from it, so we hardly ever go. We've been a couple of times. We've even done 5K races over there where you get free tickets and just give them away because we've been so many times. They don't change up a whole lot of stuff every now and then, but it is a cool place to visit if you've never been there.
Yeah, that's good, man. So, you got any shout outs tonight, friends, family, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Always got to shout out to wife first and foremost, man. Let me do this on a sometimes 2 or 3 night a week basis. So,
Our man.
You're right. So just shout out to her, all the guys on the team, All-Star. On this side, we got Derek Welch, DW, with Tom Barris, Jeremiah, and Albert. All the guys on the Wednesday night that's joining us over there too. Appreciate all their help and camaraderie. You guys, I'm glad to see you, Ricky, back in good health and able to do this, man. I really appreciate you doing this, and Alan, both y'all putting on one heck of a show, man. Just keep up the good work, and Lori too. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows this wouldn't be anything without her running it. So that sponsors them Magic NRG Innovations. What puts the name on the truck and keeps it running.
All right, buddy. Hey, we thank you for all that, and congratulations. What a great win. I'm sure you're going to savor the moment, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
All right, that was your first place finisher here at Texas Motor Speedway, the 83 truck of Jason Gaines. We're going to get into some race results now, folks. They pop up here for us. So starting in first position, we just talked to Jason Gaines. Finishing second was Chris Gones. Third place, Andy Player. Fourth place, Jeremiah Burke. Fifth place, John Schoenbachler. Kelly Kill brought it home in sixth place. He had some bad luck earlier in the race, but was able to salvage a sixth place finish out of it. Thought he was maybe going to have a chance at running it for the win. Jesse Graham in seventh. Jonathan Marsh in eighth position. John Gallagher brings it home ninth. And Mike Adelson in the 10th position.
You got the Mouth Mayberry, last week's winner, in 11th. Scott Milner comes home 12th. Colin Decker, 13th. Jonathan Osborne, 14th. Jesse Redding, 15th. Nick Tucker, 16th. Trevor Robertson, after all that trouble, 17th. Derek Welch also had a lot of problems, 18th. I think Andrew Cawthon lost connection a time or two. He still brings it home 19th. And Jason Chrisman in his Vigilante debut in 20th.
Yeah, he was running up front there for a little bit too, so I think maybe he had some bad luck at some point. But that is your race results for the night. Any parting thoughts, Ricky?
Yeah, that was a kind of a weird race. We started out with the green flag run, then we had a lot of calamity in the middle, and then ended with a long two stint green flag run. Texas is kind of that way. We had several wrecks that didn't bring out cautions, so it was just a wild night at Texas Motor Speedway. They say they do everything big in Texas, and it was pretty big tonight.
Yeah, Jason was able to bring home the 6-shooters tonight in the cowboy hat. But I want to thank you again, Ricky, for all you do for this league. And as always, I want to thank my beautiful and talented wife, Lori, for everything she does for me personally, for this league. And as Jason also mentioned, we could not do this without her. And so otherwise, race fans, that wraps it up for tonight. Remember, racing fast and living free is the American way. Good night, VRL.
This ain't your mama's racing stream.